Greetings again, everyone. This is Phil Amerson with a To Be and Do podcast. As we've said so many times now, um, we want to focus on interdependence and not just independence. We want to help look at what it means to be a part of a larger community. And my producer, Brad Miller, told me recently that we've done nearly 100 podcasts in the last year and a half. And I thought, man, I didn't know that there were that many things to talk about. But we've had some great visitors, and occasionally we do shorter reflections called "Because." And I hope they've been helpful to you. We're going to take a little pause here at the end of June, and we may do some encore. Probably we'll have some encore presentations through the rest of the summer, and we'll see if we pick up again in the fall. My hope is that we will, maybe not quite at the same pace of doing well. What are 100? That's more than that's nearly two a week. So uh, we we wanted to just reflect with you a bit today about saying goodbye. Now, when I was young, people said, "I'll just say so long because I don't want to say goodbye," meaning I'll see you again. Uh, and actually, goodbye doesn't mean forever ending ever. Whether we think in terms of time and eternity, or whether we think just in terms of friendship. I was on the phone this morning with a dear friend. And frankly, he's now 87, a lot of health problems. Um, and more, I'm aware that goodbyes are precious things. And as I spoke with him and told him I was going to do a podcast, he said, "Well, don't forget to tell the story." And so we're telling the story of goodbye. And sometimes when we think goodbye is permanent, it's not. You know, those disciples on the road to Emmaus after Jesus was crucified, they were running. We miss the fact that Jesus and his compadres were threats to the state. They were threats to the Roman Empire. They were offering a different way. And when Jesus died, these two disciples were not heading they weren't heading back to Galilee. They were running the other direction. And a stranger came and walked with them. They thought they had said goodbye to Jesus. And lo and behold, in the breaking of bread, they recognized that it was Jesus, the Christ, who was with them. That presence, that community. Goodbyes. Every time I say goodbye these days at my age, I think, well, that's maybe the last time I'll have the opportunity to be with these friends, or to remember great stories, or to be a part of imagining how life can be in the future. One of the things that I found really helpful is a reflection on goodbye that was written by Frederick Buechner a few years ago. It was published in a couple of his books. You maybe know his book Beyond Words, or his book Whistling in the Dark. Buechner was a master at storytelling. And here's what he wrote about the words goodbye. Frederick Buechner on goodbye. A woman with a scarf over her head hoists her 6-year-old up onto the first step of the school bus. "Goodbye," she says. A father on the phone with his freshman son has just finished bawling him out for his poor grades. There's mostly silence on the other end of the line. "Well, goodbye," the father says. When the girl at the airport hears the announcement that her plane is starting to board, she turns to the boy who is seeing her off. "I guess this is goodbye," she says. The noise of the traffic almost drowns out the sounds of the words, but the shape of it lingers on the old man's lips. He tries to look vigorous and resourceful as he holds out his hand to the other old man. Goodbye. This time, they say it so nearly in unison that it makes them both smile. It was a long while ago that the words, God be with you, disappeared into that word, goodbye. But every now and again, some trace of them still glimmers through. Uh, Frederick Buechner on Goodbye. God be with you. I had a friend who used to say, God be with ye. Oh, goodbyes, so many of them. I'm thinking of them now, those times I stood in the hospital or at the bedside. Recently, a dear friend was dying, and I went and anointed him with oil and prayed for him, and he was not able to communicate, but I kissed him on the forehead and simply said, God be with you, Charles. Now, there are other goodbyes. There's that new baby that's born, and you hate to leave, but you've got to go and turn this beautiful grandchild or this beautiful child of a friend back to the parents or back to whoever is caring for them. And as you go to the door, you say goodbye, and you really mean God be with you. So, we're going to take a little pause this summer, and this is a recording where I'm saying to all of you good people who've listened or watched on the Belonging Exchange to be and to do, um, a graceful and truly heartfelt God be with you.